One day I'm going to be performing there.
Yeah, no, Wembley Stadium.
Come on.
No, manifest that.
I'll be like, I heard.
jodY, I want front row seats to your show.
Come on.
jodY's gonna have a show, you know.
You know what?
jodY's gonna have a show.
You're getting discount because I want that money.
Facts. Yes, y'all. Welcome to the Metaphorest. And you know what day it is? It's Monday. So what does that mean? It's BYOB motherfucking B. So yeah, Terrell is headlining today. A couple other poets are coming through. It's been crazy because I don't know when this video comes out, but I will have already been to quite a few poetry events in the past few days. I did 6 in a row last week, and then this one is just at the end of that one, so let's go. Yeah, I heard. What's good? Yeah, sir, how are you?
Hey, what are you?
Doing okay? Hey, you good? We got Mosh in the building, and then we got jodY as well. If you don't know, you just don't.
Now you know.
You know what I mean? Cheers. How did you get into poetry?
Well, I was at school and my teacher was just like, yeah, I'm going to submit you into a poetry competition. And I was like, I don't know about poetry. And obviously I wrote something pretty good, got into a competition, I won the competition, and then I got published in a book and I was 16.
Yay, congratulations, 16 published.
Yeah, but now I'm like bringing it back, you know, it's like I've rekindled that flame and I'm here again to take the stage.
Oh yeah, because she's a star already, baby.
Oh yeah.
I'm with Lisa as well. And how did you get into writing again? Because you have a science background, I believe.
I do have a science background, yeah. To be honest, my history of writing goes back pretty far because I probably wrote my first poem when I was about 9 years old. I was that kid, like for example, I remember there was like a tree and there was a storm one day and then the tree like fell down. And I just remember being so upset that this tree, which had been alive for like 100 years, was just dead now. And then I wrote a poem about the tree and like to the tree. And then I guess in a way that I've just kind of continued in that. Like,
oh, that's sweet.
So yeah, just expressing emotion through words.
I feel like there's a poem there, like a follow-up poem for that tree.
Yeah,
and that tree's effects on your life.
Exactly.
Like,
Tree
thank
was
you,
teaching
tree.
you a lesson, so you could talk about how you learned life lessons from the tree.
Exactly.
There's a book where the guy is talking about lessons he's learned, trees, birds. He's using animate and inanimate objects to write those stories.
So much of my poetry from nature, and it's not like a thing that I think about, it's just how I understand the world.
You're for the vlog, innit? Your Conker story.
Like embarrassing stories part 1, you know?
Yeah, so how did you get hit on the balls?
So like there was this girl called Gembaypoetry.
And she said, I'm gonna make you sing like James Bond. This guy is Lay Speaks. Professional freestyler, go check him out. You know what I mean? Man's got EPs.
It's Lay Speaks, but let them speak for them.
What I love about the poetry community is like they're multi-talented. You got poets that are rappers, and there's political as well. You got you got authors here. You got published authors. You got scientists. Come on.
You're going to be up to date, right?
Oh, you got to talk to Rohan if you want to sign up on that, bro.
Oh yeah, where's he at? Through Wembley.
Coming through Wembley. Oh yeah, South London's finest. Both of you guys.
I'll take it, you know.
Find him at all the events in South London. He there. Headlining events. Poetivity. Mind Over Matter. The Poetry Jam. That jacket was nice.
Oh, you saw the jacket?
One of the best dressed as well. This guy.
This is like a daily poetry event, non-stop, constant party.
He's touring. It's like he's touring. I mean,
And the real tour haven't even started yet. Can you imagine what he does?
Wow.
But yeah, we just having fun, innit? We just enjoy.
he's got an amazing EP on the way. I've heard like 1-2 tracks from his set.
That's not even from the EP.
That's not even from the EP. Wow. Okay. So what? You got 5 projects.
That's not even from the EP.
Okay.
It's not even, it's upgraded itself to an album. That's
Okay.
so much fun I'm having with it.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
So yeah.
2022 is gonna be sick. It's gonna be loaded.
Believe it.
I love Newton's third law of motion. Because for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So before you gossip in your group chats and your factions outside, speak facts, fuck the inaction. Because you are the reason why jodY was invented. You're getting on my nerves. The pain is what I invested in, and a literal pain in the back has got me venting in my brain and living rent free, and god damn it, you got me fenced in. Because some people do their absolute hardest to feel offended and tempt me to respond with hatred unintended, making me feel like Mayweather, always elusive and defensive. I am undefeated. And remember, your actions have consequences. Because there ain't enough poetry prescribed to get this matter off my mind, and any courtesy supplied I take back, and any fucks I can't find, and our vibes collide. Talking to you is a grind, and love resides inside mine, but your heart's moving blind. Because we've been doing this for almost 2 years, and we keep building traction, and I might say it's a largely positive reactions, and at least half a right, call it a proper fraction, but some people want to spit our light like a fraction. And somebody wants to treat Abdullah like he's a plum. But even a wise man needs to act like he's dumb. Ask the Lord the punishment, the bad deed done, avenge my pen, I seek retribution. So you might win some, but you really, that's all that matters. Picking my lines all you want, but I have a right to defense, and instead of making a connect, you deceive and deflect, and might bruise my ego, but you just help my intellect. And dirty laundries never what piques my interests, and it's clear you lack emotional intelligence, so you're not unique. Very few start from a place of happiness for the best. We're just left those quotes for nationwide analysts. So invest in preps and move your legs. Bad aim set far away, like Wizkid said. And the following statement spotted by my fucking chest. You look woozy, sit down. Your self-worth is getting to your head, so stop stepping on my dignity. You can't act with impunity. You see, before BYOB, there was still a poetry community, so ask about me.
Next about me.
It's unusual I move this ruthlessly, but I hate lies and ambiguity. Buddy, you're just mad you squandered an opportunity. And truthfully, words don't always come to me this smoothly, but I'll put you in your place when lips move loosely, and I'm done playing drafts when chest is what suits me, so take my name out your mouth and move purposefully. Third law.
Hi. This is the first time I'm performing at this venue. I hope everyone's doing good on the 1st of November. So this one is basically about like identity and like how I see identity a bit. So yeah. I want to be like the moon, so undiscovered and fulfilled. I see the sun and reflect it. It shine brings light to night. Together conquer existence, every strength to harmony. Do you not like the song it sings, or the breath it breathes, or secrets it reveals? No secrets, just peace. When I'm not looking, I find it. When I focus on me, I'm grinding. When I finally complete the assignment, when the dark days are behind us, there's something so comforting about the unknown. How do we fear, but we crave it? I was grieving the loss of the old me. The purpose was served. She's okay. She found a better place. The past me, that's the last me. The now me, you lost me. You won't find me. I'm calm, cool. The feeling is peaceful and new. Where to run? Run to escape. But alone is not lonesome. Feeling fire hiding inside. Burning desires. Demons float. Disturbing empires. It's funny how it was misty, blurry, bloody stained, ruffled feathers, crushed dreams, crumbled being, notions swinging, balanced on your shoulders. It's been so long, the flower closed, petals torn and worn, growth twice, crushed and sprinkled ice, followed lights, rolling dice. Why? The past times had you stuck. I couldn't give up, got my ways I got mine. So sure of uncertainty, higher heights, they weren't so high. But an empty stack doesn't stand. This shit is getting out of hand. Meanings questioned, answered berries in the sand. Emptied hands, but nothing for you to hold. She doesn't understand. Words exchanged, am I speaking your language? He's not from this land. Freedom is outlaw and money is poor. Do you see my shell? Do you see my core?
Hello everyone, I'm gembaypoetry.
this one, I've performed it a couple of times, but I still need to get it out of me. So I hope you don't mind if you've heard it already. It's called Capitalist Vulture.
Jeez.
It's a lot of rhymes in this one, so see if you can guess what the next rhyme's gonna be. Life in this place seems more like a race. There's no encouragement to take things at your own pace. Struggle at school, and if you don't make it to university, you're labelled a fool. But then you've got to get a good job to secure your place in the rat race. No time to think or stall. But why? Capitalism and exploitation are sadly the principles governing the nation. Consumption is necessary to function. That's the story being sold. Consumerists can't even see the lies they're being told. Prison bars made of gold. iPhone upgrades, a big house and a shiny car. Materialistic sense of pleasure. But counselling sessions are needed just to cope with all the pressure. Supermarket bins could feed the hungry, yet still we're killing all the fish in the sea. Every mouthful that goes to waste, someone else would appreciate the taste. Then there are cheap clothes, one rip or tear and in the bin they go, whilst Indian families barely survive on factory salaries. That's modern slavery, justified just to keep you looking pretty. Then there are misleading messages from the media, messing with impressionable minds. Indoctrination and propaganda is the blind leading the blind. It's funny how this kind of culture just generates more of its own kind. But we need to move forward from this mindless action, transformation into worthy action. Now I know you're listening, but have you really heard, yeah? This is so much more than just poetry or spoken word. Let's look at the policies which are being created. Is poverty a choice or is it actually being created? Because I've got money in my pocket, but not for long. The prices are rising, yet the rich stay strong. See, I don't understand how the rich have the upper hand. The fucking pricks pulling tricks over our eyes. They've told us all lies, taking our imaginations away and led us astray. Taught to conform and do things their way. But I'd like to challenge these norms, you see. There must be a better way. Don't be just another in the pack. Brain dead and sat back. Mindlessly maintaining the monarchy and the monasteries, supporting their policies without creating controversy. Nah, certainly not. Because I'm moving forward with this strong life force, blessed with the knowledge from the source. Spiritual advocacy is what I'm all about, and I'm not afraid to stand up or stand out. Because consumption is necessary to function. That's the story being sold. Consumerists can't even see the lies they're being told. Prison bars made of gold. iPhone upgrades, a big house and a shiny car. Materialistic sense of pleasure, but counselling sessions are needed just to cope with all the pressure. See, freedom is what we all need. So many wants and needs. People can be so fixed on chasing things that they forget to notice the wealth that life itself brings. See, I just want to be free from the pressures of this capitalistic society, free like the mystical breath of the cool breeze that glides its way through the leaves of all trees. Maybe one day we can all be free. Thank you so much.
Can you hear me? You're a joke. So I'm Chefadoniz. If you haven't heard from me before, then welcome. Before I get into this piece, that's very close to me, I want to kind of understand the audience that I'm talking to. And I just want hands up when you want to kind of shout if they've kind of agreed with what I'm about to say, in the sense where, is there any cheaters in the room? I see some people looking down.
Some people plead in the fifth, right?
So cheating in the sense that you've like cheated on your barber.
Yes!
Or cheated on a test. Yeah? Hands up. Yeah? So anyone put your hand up if you cheated any way that's non-relationship formed. Yeah? Okay, see? There's some hands.
And the ones that have cheated, behave yourself. Yeah. So, the piece I'm about to read to you today, is called Kellogg's Affair. DJ, drop the beat. Kellogg's Affair. So from a young age, mother gave me choices in the kitchen table. Guys, I've been unfaithful. Women, I can't keep it a secret from you anymore. You're my boys. And females, you got me acting all frosty. Was on Tony like Tiger, they're great, but I cheat on all of my brands. I may have a problem, I may be a serial cheater. I had a thing for Shanice and I thought she was good. I loved her for the side of her cocoa, but Pops had it in for me. Because I kept it more than popping with her. But didn't like how she would muddy my milk. Well, Claire, she was different. She always kept it crisp with me, but I didn't like her. She was only on my cookies. I was dipping and dunking in my milk. While Nia, she was part of Nestles, who I was nestled with, I felt was golden till I found out she was promised to Graham, was engaging, but took it to another level. She ran rings around me. Can't forget Kira. This was a cheery, like my Cheerios filled my many holes, but was always sinking slowly, couldn't keep all the hoops filled. I wanted to hula with another, but Asia, she was continental. Loves how I was offshore, the long distance thing had our fair shares of us going nuts, but I wasn't willing to move, cause she wasn't worth the crunch. Spiritual, the universe aligned for me to have the luck to charm Aaliyah. What we was magical, we tossed to so many things, had each other like marshmallow pieces. Well, I can say about a woman called Ebony, my game and banter had me frosted. She was 4 layers deep as I saw her like my shreddies. Deeply weaved, needed my whole game grain before I messed up and had no fix, because I was a right mess like Weetabix. Emma, she was my healthy alternative, but got bored of porridge after a while. The only way, but she couldn't have it. Lost interest, it was cold. Allowed the lump, sorry Emma, I'm cold. Molly games was one of many times favorite. This I couldn't get enough of. Thought my bowl had my Rice Krispies goodness. Would wait for her to snap, crackle, pop. For a while I was overindulged, but she was an expensive habit, as I would eat half the box to get my fix. And if you left too long, she'd be up to her own tricks. Jenna, she was my school crush. Set right like 2 sugar puffs. Too sweet for me to handle, so I lied and pretend that I was an experienced cookie monster to get enough sugar-coated goodness. Then left after school, but Abigail, I was Mother Nature. At best well-rooted, was good for my bones like Special K. I wanted the healthy benefits of our bowl without wanting to have all of the relationship, religious things and have abs my way. The relationship, Heather, Jasmine, best friends like cornflakes and bran flakes. Shared everything but didn't want to share me and do this as a free. I had my fair of shared corn, but both had to flake on me. Hannah, she got her frosty. As in a strange time in my life, dealing with my Tigger entanglements with Tony weren't great. Hi, this is my first time at Cereal Anonymous. I'm Chefadoniz, and I'm a Moshiruu cheater. Thanks for having me. So
I got 2 quick pieces which are a bit inspired by the piece that we're all going to be performing this Thursday, which is called I Stand in My Legacy. So I was thinking about my own legacy, and essentially that's my parents. So these are 2 quick poems about each of them. I am my mother's daughter. I trace my pudgy cheeks and my deep-set eyes to the ancestors who walked before her, birthed in the Winter War, the youngest of 4, the second daughter. She exercises discretion in sharing what her childhood taught her. Left home at 17 on a boat to a foreign quarter, Carnaby Street in the 60s, diet of oranges and water. Steady hand, following the NHS orders, shoulder to the wind, come hell or high water. Put her life to service, served her patients, served her quarters, lost her only love when my father was torn asunder. Just get on with it, gritted teeth, dragged us both forward, laid her dreams beneath my feet, my Kalevala supporter. A finished transport, waxing lyrical of what Britain taught her. I expect a little more from this nation that sought her. 57 years nursing minimum wage, treading water. Brexit, referendum. Now you declare her our squatter. In lockdown, I understand why she became a hoarder. Things are removable when humans are so mortal. I belong only to her and she to me in this world order. Just get on with it. She smiles softly and we move forward. Thank you. And then my second piece is about my dad, and I'm going to try not to cry because I've never performed it before. So he left. No grand fanfare for his noble life. Disband the joys of his desolate wife. Mouth hung wide. You crept in to say goodbye. Nothing could have prepared you for the morning when he died. When they promise you that it gets easier, well, my love, they lie. You will carry the ache for the rest of your life. You will pray every night to a God who denied you, who must have grander sight, who needed your father more than that broken child. You had no idea then how many tears you would cry, oceans and rivers. You'll forget how to smile. You will drown in the drink when you give up the fight. You'll always feel lost without his wisdom, without his light. And no man will protect you. Worse still, they will reject you, and he can't come and collect you, so you better do what's right. He left, and you will wait to reunite. As the years drag by, your memories will overwrite. His face will fade, and when they tell you stories, you will be polite, but inside you are burning, shameful and contrite, his image growing paler as he remains out of sight. You never kissed his forehead. You never wished him good night. You'll cling to his writing, the legacy of his life. You'll dig through his papers, his teachings, your flashlight. When night terrors will consume you, remember, it'll be all right. Life will get darker, but you'll always have moonlight. He will stand by your side. He's there, waiting, hiding in plain sight. God has a plan. Nothing's ever finite. Shoulder to the wind. He never left, my love. He's there, dancing in the starlight. Thank you.
I just want to start out by saying thank you, Luna, for breaking the rules, because that means I can do so too. So you'll be getting two from me. The first of which is a piece that was inspired by another poet that I've been working with in some clubhouse rooms, so for those of you on the clubhouse, you know what I'm talking about. And this poet actually is a US poet, and he has a day named after him in his state. Yeah, he's epic. And he dropped a line in a slam that I was listening to. And the line was, creation is God's work, and poets wield words with the weight of the universe. I was like, what? No, I said, I need to borrow your line. Sir, can I borrow your line? He said, okay. So I said, okay. And this is called True Poets. True poets wield words with the weight of the universe, documenting deaths of self and rebirths to this earth in new forms. We flood pages and stages with poetic storms, tentatively triggering traumas to be healed, eliciting elation to be enjoyed as we travel beyond to avoid the emptiness that some experience can leave behind. We find time to express in ways our pen knows best the path back to the light, clearing our sight. Third eye visions we unlock so we are no longer imprisoned by previous revisions. True poets wield words of the weight of the universe, courageously crafting and redrafting energetic signatures to leave in the ether. Whether fighting for justice, pens poised like lightsabers to be lifesavers, or inking histories into existence that some would rather we forget. We beget resonance and resist temptation to shy away from what we have been called to do for the collective. Perspectives we alter with sincerity may serve others in being objective, if only momentarily. True poets wield words with the weight of the universe, galvanizing the collective to become revolutionary. Evolutionary not only in ideas scribed or spoken, but in actions awoken by the desire to be better than before. To soar and ascend to spaces previously unattained, to regain prior states of balance in timelines this world does not define. We find time to be proactive with the pen, scribbling soliloquies to draw out what's within and bring minds to life and hands to action. True poets wield words with the weight of the universe, touching souls before touching skin. Prowess on display, we play with words like toys, smashing similes into meetings with metaphors to discuss what happens behind closed doors. Pause before we whisper sensuous sonnets that seduce your spirit into surrender and subsequent subservience to our desires. We quietly crave the clamor for our cadence, so we deliver performances worthy of one-on-one encores. True poets wield words with the weight of the universe, penning promise and hope into hearts that hold pain, remaining the sharers of the light, bringing insights by prescribing daily doses of self-love, above all else, self-acceptance. We finesse phrases that foster forgiveness of self, and not just of lovers, but all others, including fathers and mothers. Ultimately, we seek to speak to holistic healing, from crown chakra to root, on alignment with purpose and peace. True poets wield words with the weight of the universe. Dream she wrote. Okay, so this one's called Tongue Twister, and trigger warning, if you're adverse to any kind of sensual or sexual experiences, please close your ears and eyes now. Tongue Twister. I start my morning with a shower of kisses on my chest as you impress upon me the need to celebrate the success of seeing another sunrise. The rise between your thighs implies pleasure is imminent, and with that sentiment you move in. Tongue sliding from my earlobe to my chin. Tips of tongues toy with each other while our plump lips collide. Tongues slide up, around and over each other as we lay under covers. Eyes locked in gaze and hands roaming, fingers fondle and find themselves firmly fixed in erogenous songs. Moans are how we communicate in this state. Innate response to pleasure, yours deep and low, mine harmonizing, the melody complete. You treat me to more of your mouth's special talents as you nibble my neck and run your tongue across my décolletage. I feel my body quiver in surrender to the tender way you read your favorite queens, holding each to account, simultaneously taking a moment to admire the ample you are able to enjoy. I take the opportunity to find my fingers' feather-like precision stimulating stiffness on your chest, no less sensitive than mine. As we climb through stages of anticipation of what the other will deliver, we play each other's bodies like instruments, knowing exactly.
What instrument now?
As we climb through stages of anticipation of what the other will deliver, we play each other's body like instruments, knowing exactly which strings to strum to elicit notes of pleasure, a treasure trove of experience in each caress. Your lips meet my breasts, bottom lip brushes against my flesh in a way that only you know best. While I paint the canvas of your back with light strokes of my own, known to make you spasm with a sensual overload. I feel you rise with enjoyment and relax into the feeling while our mouths meet once more. Tongue searching for spaces to stimulate, lips locked in lust, we thrust our bodies at each other. Skin against skin, we agree without words to allow each other in. Twin flames ablaze with passion, we sink our bodies between bated breaths and light kisses. As you enter my center, our symphony subsides. We compose a new score, complimentary of the one that came before. Play, pause, as I bury my head into your neck and teeth into your flesh. You moan and I own the moment, victorious in delivering delight. Trite, never. You return favors, flooding me with tsunamis of thrills, one after the other as you kiss, lips up, blow my body into submission. The rhythm of our hips and ebbs and flows in our throes of passion. You push, I pull, we maintain balance, positioning ourselves to receive sustenance from the release of serotonin. Moshiruu.
My name is Rihanna. I'm coming with 2 little short pieces.
Come on.
Memory, don't fail me now. So, first one. It's all flowers and kisses. Trigger warning, cheating. As he refers to you as his new missus, but he wants to have his cake and eat it too. Joke's on him though, because the only 2 he's coming into contact with is diabetes. Because the love was built on trust, but he's now displaying elements of lust as he's looking at the next gal with the fat bunda. And then he's gonna say something like, I wasn't staring, babe. There was just something in my eye. The eye is the foundation for his lies as you realize you're no longer mesmerized by the guy you thought was fine. But he's not your man, babes. He's for the streets. You begin to reflect on your time when he would not give you the FaceTime when he was going through something rather sublime. He'd rather hop online and play COD with the guys and talk about girls they nearly piped. But who said romance was dead? But sis, it's time to open your eyes and redefine the purpose of your life, because it's certainly not with this guy. Enough said. So that's number one. Number 2, unfinished, TBC, but it's called The Tale Between Two Lovers. Let's see if you men are on my wavelength. Cool. The moment he laid his eyes on me, he said, baby, I'm fiending. And I just can't leave you alone. I told him to cool it now, because I'm not that kind of girl. As I tried to sashay away, he pulled me back and whispered into my ear, it seems like you're ready. I pushed him off and said, babe, have you not seen that doc? We don't talk about that man. He giggled at that gentle reminder and thought to himself, she's playing hard to get, but she likes me. So he tried to step up to the plate and drop some game on some, yo babes, no intruders thing, but I want to know your name. That's it for now. But if you don't get them 90s reference, I mean you can't be fresh. Oh, of course you know. Of course you know. Of course you know. But yeah, guys, that's my poem. So thank you for listening to me.
Alright, so for the past couple of years, I've been writing a play. I'm going to give a little extract from that. Won't give the title because it'll be ruined, but hopefully you enjoy it. Harsh and gloom, dark tomb, cocoon, classroom. Doom loomed, wounds bloomed. My eyes consumed swoons of typhoon tears in year 6. The year is 2002. At 11 years of age, I felt afraid and bemused, dazed and confused, mentally enslaved and abused due to the school system's crippling curriculum. Teachers refused to listen, they just dismissed and became distant vixens when my dyslexic symptoms victimized me throughout Key Stage 3. All I learned was key stages of self-hatred when being special ed segregated. All I learned of key stages was self-hatred when being special ed segregated. My letters played games with mimicry. B's mirrored D's, G's resembled P's, and C's copied E's as whiteboard words would weave around when I drowned in a sea of sentences. Verbs and nouns resembled menaces. Tension hit my hand and wrist due to awkward pencil grip. My mental shift to terror whenever grammatical errors severed my confidence in two. Paragraphs would damage my heart, easily confused by my left and right. Numbers spoke volumes of plight, incapable to grasp the simplest of mathematical tasks. Eyesight blurred, bright lights hurt, pronunciation slurred. Story time, not for me. Sat at the back of class doing catch-up work, stop and start when reading. Stuck in the mud seething, despised public speaking, self-esteem fleeting. Dwelling on spelling, grades never excelling, IQ beaten, black and blue. Amazing how a place that's supposed to educate made me feel like a fool, ridiculed and damned, especially when it came to the end of year exams. As I stand in single file, my peers have nothing to fear, but in the air I sense the essence of something vile. Rotten has blossomed to plague, sickening tickening of clocks echo away. Corridors morph, thoughts distort, feeling paler than a corpse trapped in an overthinking cage. Emotions push to their brink as my soul begins to sink. They say boys don't cry, so I man up instead of shrink. But I feel a curse emerge as I begin to hurt. A choking sensation awakens underneath my fragile frame. Anxiety violently explores my brain. Walking like I'm shackled in chains. With every step, my breath is slain. Ringing in the ears, severe, thunderous numbness. Sears, hot flushes, cold chills, chest pains, trembling limbs, sweat trickling, popping of veins. Heart beating faster than a speeding train. I take a seat to sit my sats. Cloudy mindset, here comes the rain. Tear stings dripping, internally maimed. English, science, math, stupid, pathetic. I think I'm going to collapse. Question 1, what's the answer to that? Hey, yo, jodY, relax. Ah! jodY, leave! You're disrupting everybody! So I fled the scene in screams of silence. All I needed was some reassurance or guidance, but my teachers chose to be defiant. Locked in a noiseless toilet so no one can hear me crying. Over the horizon, I see no lights rising. Pre-teen is too young to start self-inflicting violence, but I hate the skin I live in. So I start slicing by scratching my arms, 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 until the bloody wounds resemble Roman numerals. Looking at the boy in the mirror like I want to fucking ruin you, slewing all my mind's oozing cruel manners of pain. Guess what the first question was? Name. J-O-D. Why me? Thank you.
I'm going to perform 2 short poems. The first one is kind of about, infatuation, and it's called Cardboard Mistakes. Cardboard mistakes sold here, bought with no paper receipts for redemption. Postage money costs too much to make away with this idiom. His cardboard physique told seduction a compromise of lies. Buying her feelings an Uber ride to romance enterprise. This cardboard biz is a packet I would patronize. Here's what I've theorized. It is a clever play on words to intend to trick you. It's like when my friend Marley ordered an Xbox online, but receives an empty box called Xbox. Now, ain't that a crime? You can always label sugar salt and salt sugar. I guess that's why I don't like to label shit. Like when I'm asked, what are we? I mean, show me. Can't trust them label things. Like when the guy says I'm the full package. Looking down, he says to me, I got a pink package. With no extra baggage. He's been single for a while, so he's ready for marriage. Now, I don't do well with innuendo, so I'm here all excited to unwrap some stuff. But now I have to pretend, so here is your order. He's the full package, all right. A full package called empty package. Future warning: don't trust them cardboard labels. Telling you a lot of secrets, so here's go. Dishonest biography are somewhat of a joke-like comedy. Like, let me help you here, as you're not in no state to receive this yet. I mean, you know of not too many days to understand my creepy ways of telling tales. I'm not cynical, but one buddy just ain't enough. I mean, options never hurt. There has to be some rule against this kind of abuse, using one buddy with no half-term breaks.
like a day's pesky grips, holds too tight to take. The forever transaction called breathing, exchanging that CO2 for O2, like a debt owed but never fully paid. Down the skin's worn down. And here's what we have. Bone health prosthetics, one well-appreciated bored organ, thank you by the way. Facade called dentures that can tell you the most truth that I ever will. I'm aged with thoughts that frame me up as an image, with instruction notes. Let it be noted, inanimate things know me way better than you do. Closer to truth, clothed with doors, curtains, walls and windows. I love adjectives, but sometimes in isolation I rebelled against my popular truth. Like at 20, a diagnosed prude. So I guess to treat this disease, I became the epitome of a sexual freak for at least a week. Thanks to fate supposedly having my back, I guess I met the love of my life really early at 25. He was simply dating my friend, so I wasn't married until 45. I mean, I was named a good friend, so I had to play the part. Good, well, adjectives get blurry after 9 decades. It's funny the mind feels safe enough to sin, but hates that it keeps creepy notes reminding. Like knowing Jessica got fired for something I had done tired. Adjectives annoy me. Decades colored with speckled days, and only I can tell apart their shades.
Also, like, big up the poets in the building. Where's all the poets at? You make some noise. And anyone that's thinking about being a poet as well. So I got a piece, I got a new piece, new shit.
Yeah.
New shit.
New shit.
Yo, this one's called Poems. A poem is not a delicate dying flower in the palm of your clenched hand. It is a bear trap on your mind that refuses to let go. A poem is a grenade with its pin pulled, waiting to explode your grey matter and reveal your thoughts as string theory. The only thing that is intact is your heart, or barely. A poem does not yield or concede, it is ever persevering in the dark. It grows slow like crystal and blooms like jasmine in the nighttime. It's compact like diamond carbon bonds and changes states like like water, taking forms at will. It is the voice that tells you unequivocally yes, while the outside is telling you no. It is the breaker of ceilings, the dream you never knew you had but always dreamt. It is the crooked crown in a smile, the crack in the picture frame, that one ugly cry that everyone happens to see. It's the bulletproof ideals that wear ugly truths on its back, while lies are draped in delicate, flammable fabrics. It feels like dancing in the rain, barefoot, walking on hot coals, stripping down to your bones and throwing up your soul. The soft smile born in the breath of the wind. The barbed wire around a chipped porcelain heart. Poems live and die in the moment, but are forever eternal. That incandescent feeling of burying your soul with no clothes, the truth played out with no shows. Unlike lies, what is true does not fabricate. The truth requires no audience. Lies need believers. Poems belong to the quote-unquote unachievers, underdogs, undergrounds, under gods, but over mountains. Poems, they are sown as seeds that become plantlings, that shed as cuttings and grafted onto souls. Plant enough of these, they become poetries. Say it again.
Again, big man. Say that again.
Plant enough of these, they become poetries. That sprout pages of leaves that become a metaphorest. I've got a 50-second poem. I might as well just do my answer. 50 seconds. It is 50 seconds. I'm jonesing for Miss Jones.
Yes, you are. Reload it. And Miss Jones never heard you.
I'm jonesing for Miss Jones. And at home, when her and I are close, when our chemistry is potent, we hone in our emotions once we walk in without clothes, and up close, our lips close in, our breathing focus, turning kisses into tokens of our affection. We in turn become roses, our clothes, our petals on bedposts, and we lay in a bed of roses, arranged in comic poses, legs entwined, groping, pressing, stroking, nails dug in, pillow soaking, a waterbed within an ocean. Miss Jones.
Something is off. A day like any other, and yet we all feel the tension in the air. Stuck inside, bewildered in a supermarket aisle, a word under shock, struck by a lack of stock. No masks, no tests, no food on the shelves. Lost, isolated, forced to cope by ourselves. The telly, the politics, on repeat. Pandemic, panic buy. They tell us that we are idiots, selfish, responsible for this lack of supply. Despite years of neoliberalism, pushing for individualism, teaching us that the only rationality is to forgo one's humanity, setting us up against one another, hiding their own ineptitude and lust for power. Years after years of struggle, working hard, and yet never quite making it. Something, someone, every time, destroying everything we've built. We were sold a sham, a fallacy, meritocracy, existing powers, privileges, class inheritance disguised under a fake equality. That are lost to work to succeed when they owe everything to daddy's money, while they are too big to fail the rest of us kids. Too small, too frail. Bruised, living in fear of the next blow, distrusting neighbors, strangers, those we don't get to know. We've become rough, convinced that we play a zero-sum game where my gain is your loss. I bite before you get a chance to attack. I close off as if you were to stab me in the back. And this is how everything begins. You and me locked down in a loop where no one can win. Trusting the markets to wage each other's life, forgetting to look into each other's eyes. So what now? As we fall in lockdown and the silence replaces the sounds, nations always in motion, too busy to check on our emotions, let's stop. And let's start to hold our breath, listen to the pulse of the human race. This blood we all share, this blood we all shed. Forget the layers we are wrapped into, connect what's deep, and we hold for truth. Beyond the varnish of our individual experiences, recognize in others the same fears, the same sadnesses. Search beyond the flesh, the nerves, the bones, carve for that tiny dark stone. This piece of human left, old hopes, crushed dreams, true kindness. Reinvent the rules, break the dogma, build a new utopia.
This one is called The Best Is Yet to Come. When mischief came to find me, disguised as harmless fun, I bet you wouldn't believe how many times I've had to run. Vaulting over skyscrapers for the chance to touch the sun, I bet you wouldn't believe the crazy things I've gone and done. Of all the things I've seen, all the battles I've fought and won, I bet you wouldn't believe that still the best is yet to come.
Yeah.
That's one from the book.
Your ring is wicked.
Thank you.
Represent.
Okay, so I used to write one poem every day, and I stopped at the end
end of last year on 1,367. This one is 994.
Definition of a poet.
This one. After ascending a set of fire escape stairs, we made do with a sheltered space on a pigeon poop defiled roof terrace. As the sun sank south, melting into the horizon, we sat waiting patiently for that skinny slither of lingering light to leave and envelop us in darkness. It was a joyful half hour of hand holding, shoulder grazing, and forehead nuzzling that would surely have made us gag in our single days. Nothing but us and the fading sunlight with its going, gone, suspenseful capitulation. The pungence of petroleum wafted in on the prevailing wind, and a mutual pang of nausea sent our nostrils flaring in protest. But we overpowered our sensory attack with another, a swig of trusty supermalts, and your chivalrous offer of some fried plantain from a portion we both knew was too small to share. Had me daydreaming of delicate J. Appleweight wedding dresses and cheesy jagged edge remixes. My palette fashioned hearts for your generosity, while darkness made a moon for our eyes. And moon made even more of a night worth staying up for. Our buttocks cursed the pins and needles that took hold, and we rocked away the discomfort in synchronicity. Not even the advancing chill could shift us, preoccupied with the night crawling over the vastness of our sky. It slid into the vacant tree trunk in the local green and scaled the walls of multi-story car parks. It wrapped itself around the BT Tower in the distance, took London by surprise. A tatty fox with bedraggled tail sauntered down the white stripe of a residential road, exhibiting all the trademarks of hardship married with the resilience of a newly arrived urban migrant with a family to feed. She flung her head back and cried like a woman violated, a soul leaving a body, the soundtrack to our rooftop romance. A violent tinge took the black out of the night, making it easy to forget that a sun had ever had its time. In any random nook or cranny of the city, we made moments like this, cultivating an invincible love.
Everyone that's been up here tonight has been amazing, special, metaphoric. Today, I'll be sharing something very personal. I don't usually do this, but everything is tied in metaphors as usual, so if you get it, you get it. Jeez. I don't have a name for this one, so, and everything usually starts with a name. From fetus to being born, I've been not only growing, but transforming. My transformation from puberty to manhood filled with self-discovery and confusion. I'm now a full man, a sinner still learning. Not realizing what I've done wrong until the reaper shows me the seeds I've planted. Can I change? I vomit from the disgust of my harvest. Was this my doing, this desolation? In the rhythm of planting, I thought this was the perfect union of plant and soil. But looking back through unreliable memories, the two S's might have been sorrow and sin. I look at my dirty hands, not from honest work, but dark deeds. I realize my wrongs now. The Reaper has shown me my carnage.
Jesus Christ.
But can I change? Even then, I did not realize what I was doing wrong. I'm fucking shaking.
You're fire,
Even then, I did not realize what I was doing wrong. No one said a word, or was I always working in the dark? I can't remember. I'm not a destroyer, but can I change? My eyes heavy with tears, my soul weighed down by the anvil of my deeds. I do not even believe I've done these deeds. They feel so alien to the person I am. I'm afraid of this darkness within. I feel ultimately entwined in sin. I'm sorry, but this man is not me. But can I change? I swear to be better, but can I change? Even if I plead my case, will the world accept me? I can't even speak when I see sin. My tongue weighed down by the stones the sinless used to punish. Did they not realize as well? I refuse to be a hypocrite. But all this wrong I see, can they change? I hope they can change, because that means I can too. So I leave my faith in humanity, a fool's choice, but so is hope. Since I don't have a name for this, can someone just give me a name? I don't know. I know it's hard.
False hope.
False hope?
Perplexed thoughts.
Come on, man. You're being too deep now. You're being too deep now. So false hope or perplexed thoughts.
Say soul weighing heavy.
Soul weighing heavy.
I am not this man.
I'm not this one.
I think my Lord, that's the one right there. That's
Thank
the
you.
one.
Thank you.
That's the one. Gold star for you, my friend.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with sins of man. Thank you very much. My name's Moshiruu.
My name's Ali, also known as nomadic Libah. Libah means lion in Somali. So I'm a wandering lion. I normally do poetry when I'm up here, but today I'm gonna do a little rap for you lot. There's no beat, it's a cappella. So I haven't even got a name for it, I wrote it the other day. So here we go.
Run your own rhythm.
The intricacies of identity is an effigy. A for effort, but the merit is in what you let them see.
No, again. Read it.
The intricacies of identity is an effigy. A for effort, but the merit is in what you let them see. And betterment is the mission, I wanna be a better me. So whatever the weather be, I'm just gonna let it be. It won't be the end of me, like the beginning of A to the letter Z. Let them see what a rapper be, i.e. me. A lyricist of the 5th degree, tethering together letters in ways they never seen. Tapestries of analogies that ain't braggage. I do it casually, it's never been an abnormality. In actuality, it's a part of my faculty, and I just do it as a formality to display my vernacular capacity in regards to the facts and what they be. An ode to an oddity, even if it's odd of me. Far from mediocrity, obviously, real rap done properly. Let's see the misogyny and blatant hypocrisy. Fake fictitious fantasies and false prophecies fabricated to facilitate barbaric, bitter and brutes. Wielding weapons, waging war, carelessly killing civilians in ways never seen before. A international tour, the devil knocking on your door with resources and no remorse. Consortiums for a cause. The intricacies of identity is an effigy. A for effort, but the merit is in what you let them see. And betterment is the mission, I wanna be a better me. So whatever the weather be, I'm just gonna let it be. It won't be the end of me, like the beginning of A to the letter Z. Let them see what a rapper be, i.e. me. A lyricist of the 5th degree, tethering together letters in ways they never seen. The only thing in life which is free that you don't pay a fee is the air that we breathe. So make use of the time that you speak. Each word that you read may lead to possibilities you never conceived. But whatever your dreams, they can be achieved depending on how you perceive and how much drive and belief till aims or reach. The intricacies of identity is an effigy. A for effort, but the merit is in what you let them see. And betterment is the mission, I wanna be a better me. So whatever the weather be, I'm just gonna let it be. It won't be the end of me, like the beginning of A to the letter Z. Let them see what a rapper be, i.e. me. A lyricist of the 5th degree. For whatever, whichever, whomever, however, for pain, pity or pleasure. The time is a gift you should treasure, no matter the measure. Only time is priceless, the only cost is what your life is. Only ever amount to what you can account. How so does your resound when thoughts unsound surround and come around and try hold you down? Do you make moves outbound or do you stand your ground? The intricacies of identity is an effigy. A for effort, but the merit is in what you let them see. And betterment is the mission, I wanna be a better me. So whatever the weather be, I'm just gonna let it be. It won't be the end of me, like the beginning of A to the letter Z. Let them see, I'm a rapper. No, I'm a lyricist of the 5th degree. Listen, I got a very short poem per minute. I did rap, let me do a little short poem for you. This one is called Soul. It's greater than the mind, which is greater than the body. I'm trying to decipher the picture you couldn't even envision. My mind is free from the consequential system that keeps us locked and conditioned. Asking the questions to things most people wouldn't want to listen. Why? Because to me, It makes a difference in the long scope and distance. Longevity isn't guaranteed, but integrity builds character and creed, leaving landmarks by the way that you lead. Your lineage and legacy live longer than you could ever see. The paradox of personality is perpetuated by perspective. People tend to believe what they can touch, feel, and see, but at the end of the day, we don't know what could be. Posing hypotheses, but we can only wait to hope and see. Simplicity is the key to synchronicity. Linguistic liquidity mixed with creativity creates fluidity, with a plethora of possibilities to live differently, i.e. free of idiocies and impediments, which are vicious vices vicarious in their nature, oftentimes self-induced and reduced to the tight noose, held so close, it becomes cutthroat. Oh, only if you had known how your own actions have shown, the seeds you have sown leaves each to their own with their deeds and them alone. Because we are submerged within our own urges, only unearthed when they come to the surface, revealing our inner thoughts, our biggest burdens, reliving vivid versions of images reoccurring, losing sight of your deeper purpose. So, live for yourself or lose your identity. Love for pleasure to enjoy passion. Remember memories to fulfill desires. Question everything before your downfall transpires, becoming your own dumbfounded liar, unable to rise higher than the outer attire. Look for truth where lies flourish, in order to acknowledge what's honest and find solace in a little space, i.e. old office, or a flourishing forest, finding new meanings for the same things you believe in. It becomes self-revealing and it's self-relieving any hidden feelings. Have a lovely evening.
BYOB Wembley, make some noise! Everybody say bro! Bro! Say Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Hey, this next piece I'm doing is called St. George. I don't know if you know about St. George. He's the patron saint of this country. Yeah, the one that killed the dragon. Exactly, there's a lot of myths about him, but he's actually an immigrant that came to this country. And some sects of Islam actually worship him. Well, a lot of people don't know that. But that inspired me to write this piece anyway. But yeah, let's go. Hey. Hey. Yo. Woo. Every other region's had a very own we, undefeated or free. That Thierry Henry, drop keys and slaying dragons at top mountain peaks. Getting high, hyperventilating. 420's cool, but this April 23rd I'm celebrating. 3 decades in the making. The soul of St. George, the eyes see it all. Your chokehold's too tight, the left looks too right. Northern up, enjoying southern comforts. Had Columbus discovered India, I wouldn't exist. Indigo, child of the indigenous, my mind's in a good place. I know we a few Dahanis, my mommy's Hyderabadi, Papa came from Karachi, and just into the society buzzing over Hitachi. The real schemes over 3 memes on their property. Then freeze your mind, chronic at the temple trumpet. All petty schemes. 2017. Yo, can we run it back? Can we run it back? One time. Sorry. Apologies. You know that right there, that Magoo shit. I'm sorry, yeah, one more time. Yeah, yo. Big up everyone who's performed tonight. It's my first time on stage this year, so good to be back on stage. Much love. Let me catch this. Hey. Every other region sounded very own we, undefeated or free. That's Thierry Henry. Drop keys and slay dragons at top mountain peaks. Getting high, hyperventilating. 420's cool, but this April 23rd we're celebrating. 3 decades in the making. The soul of St. George, the eye seeing all. Your chokehold's too tight, the left looks too right. Wants me join southern comforts, and Columbus discovered India, I wouldn't exist. Indigo, child of the indigenous, my mind's in the good place. I know me a few Tahanis, me mommy's Hyderabadi, Papa came from Karachi, adjusted to society, buzzing over Hitachis. Reveal schemes in the 4-panel meme, I lay proper shit, no crock spots and free sweets, my mind stays shamanic. I see my...
Hey, you got it.
Everything you wanna do, I lived in 2017. On it. First and looks and teen, a change of days, it was refreshing, so fresh and so clean. Fresh as a fresher on lean. Fresh off the boat, feel the breeze. Broken and beaten, all hope was depleted from a single stream. Flows a ravine. Product the conflict, it's all in my genes. The beat is raw, never did it for applause. Still it drags on, go the way of St. George. I was bred British as a bulldog. It's awkward, I'm ducking your subordinate clauses. 83 Pacino, my balls are my word. Split is slick 16, they conjure a blurb. I'm Dan Smith sending gifts, what I spoke wasn't heard. Feedback, fully loading the verse. Meditation is a practice in a piece is a verb. As the seasons are blurred, still it's my cast that is cursed. Cursed cause we put in the work. Put in so much that it hurts. The man took over our turf. Shaken, not stirred. And if idolatry's a sin, I can't take it to church.
So I'm gonna do 2 quick poems for you. The first one is about an Indian guy meeting a Pakistani girl in London. Yeah, this poem exists because there's too much hate between the two countries. We can do without. So let's see if you feel this one. Borders, like creases on bed sheets. They unlearn their hate as their eclipse and meet. Grasped in her steady warmth, flesh like his own. Fragments of history into one bed sewn. Ghosts of London haunt their past. 2 bound prisoners snog as they grasp. Smoldering in London cold, they stretch and steer. Her feet curl towards Lahore as his back rests on Kashmir.
Again, please. What the bomba?
Smoldering in London cold, they stretch and steer. Her feet curl towards Lahore as his back rests on Kashmir. Simply so their heights need into mountains, K-N-E-A-D, need into mountains. Into Himalayan white stripes, tearing partition curtains. Heavily sow their breath, blow winds of shivers, stark bodies dance in crevices amidst the 5 rivers. Fated to be in pieces of each other, yet they reek. Stories of their concupiscence, etches on the wall by London bed speak. So I'm going to do a small one from my book that I published. So it's called Pheromones by David. It's available on Amazon. I'm going to do a short poem from that. It's called Chisel. Let me take you to my side of the dark. Roll into the black slime I call my heart. Hang a little light over the place I've locked myself into. Chisel away some rotten bricks into what they call art. I've started taking quieter roads. Will you take my hand? For sometimes I prefer paint and ink to neon lights, and over tar I prefer some sand. I've wrecked a lot of time, shall wreck more into you. Will you touch my face as we kiss and softly slice my brain into 2? Let me pour some me into you, crush some you.
Again. What was you pouring? No.
Let me pour some me into you, crush some you into I. Maybe this stench of something dead within me will then be gone by. If you are empty too, will you take some of me? For this weight I think, if I could share, I'd have more days to be. Some I'll spend making love to you, rest to fly, but not far away, not too high. For I've taken some falls and wounded myself, but they hurt less if you're closer to the eye. Come now, the sun is setting, yet it doesn't really matter under my sheets. For you're within me, when you're not there, comfort and peace seldom meet.
You give up for the one, the only Terrell!
Now, before I start, I just want to say a couple of things, man. So it's really good for me to be back home in Wembley, Northwest, man. So a massive shout out to BYOB for having me here. This is my last show of the year, so I just wanted to just finish it. Yeah, man, this is my finale, man. And before I say anything, I just want to pay homage to spoken word. So I've been doing this 3 years consistently, and I've had 3 amazing years. 2019, I won the UK Entertainment Award for Best Poet. Man. So yeah, good luck, man. Going into 2020, I launched obviously the Poetry Jam. So we had our last show of the year yesterday. We sold out. 250 people turned up for spoken word. That's a paid event. A paid event for spoken word, yeah. And then we're going into 2020, 2022. I'm not going to reveal what I'm doing. So. Oh, yeah, I know you've done. Sorry, can we show you? So last year, November the 12th, 2020, myself, Mr. Reed, and Poetess Jess made history for spoken word. So we were the first artists to perform at the Mobiles. Yeah, man. So I'm just gonna get straight into it. I'm just gonna get straight into something. So before I start, I just wanna go in with this piece. This is the very first piece that I wrote. It's called Me, Myself and I. And it's nice because I can see the development of my writing from when I started to where I am now. This is the very first piece I wrote. This in 2016. And yeah, it's called Me, Myself and I. And I just like it. So it goes like this. You see, I finally come to terms that my body is the home of 3. Me, myself, and I. 3 people that can form an alliance to stand as equals. 3 people that have given a chance can change the outcome of any circumstance. Now, firstly, there is me. Now, me is a representation of everything positive in my imagination, who says no to obligations but seizes the opportunity in any situation. He doesn't know how to not believe. He applies himself daily in order to be better and achieve. And because of this, greater things his mind can conceive. Which leads me on to my next friend, who's the typical guy who likes to pretend. Allow me to introduce myself. You see this guy? He's so fake. He constantly lies and he makes mistakes. His words are wind and he hold no weight. Not one good personality trait. Unbeknown that his shit is made of glass, and it soon will break and he will land on his ass. You see, this guy makes me mad to the highest degree. I can't believe that he's actually a part of me. But all is not lost because I have a surprise. My third and final friend, and his name is I. Now, I, to put it simply, is honest and effective. He won't have anyone around him that he personally hasn't selected. You see, he's loyal to his friends and to his family he remains true. I holds everything together because he is the glue. He's the one person hardly anybody gets to see. That includes family, friends, myself, and me. But when you see him, I'm certain you can remember the time. He could be here right now, as you're listening to these rhymes. But all in all, I'm gonna need all 3, because they all make Terrell Lewis, and they will make me, me. So my friends, I thank you, and now you know my reasons why. Here's to me, myself, and I. Yeah, I've got a nice little surprise for you, lot. I'm going to welcome a friend onto the stage. Kemi, my darling, please come to the stage and have a seat right next to me, please. Yeah, man, so I hooked up with Kemi, come. I like you know me.
Y'all friends, man.
Sorry.
That's cool. Yeah, man. So we're just gonna, me and Kemi just gonna vibe up here. So this is unrehearsed. This is all based upon feeling. Yeah, this is all improv. So I really want to give you guys a really good performance, man. So where's Big Man? Alright, so go with it should be called track 1. So basically this piece here, it's called I'm Your Conscience.
Track 1,
yeah? Yeah, track 1. Yeah? There you go. Perfect. You turn it down a little bit more? Kenny? There you go. We're just gonna vibes. I'm your conscience. You see, I'm that voice that gives you confidence. I'm the reason you consider consequence. I'm that author that's behind your compliments. You might know me as your conscience. You see, I give you guidance and direction. I offer communication through expression. I am the strength in your confessions. I answer all your questions. You might know me as your conscience. Try to understand that me and you together we make the perfect team. And although you're the face that people see, I'm the one that's working behind the scenes, that's constantly building to create this reality that only exists within our dreams. That supreme being I'm referring to is me, your conscience. I am your spirit, your energy, your best friend and enemy. That positive mental attitude that stimulates you mentally. I am the voice that lies deep, the light in darkness when you can't see. I'm the reason you keep going in life and don't stop in order to live free. I am your conscience. I put the unobtainable things within reach. The unexplainable things can now speak. I animate your body, give it life and rhythm so you can move to your own heartbeat. You see, I turn the negatives into a positive. Hit the reset button and anything derogative. Helping you out is my prerogative. If you grow, I grow, we grow together. That's cognitive. You see, when you're asleep, I'm awake. Your nights are my days. When you rest, I play. But when I think, you say, I am your conscience. You see, it's really important that you train and invest in getting your mind right. Because your future is determined from our experiences and hindsight. Listen to that inner voice. Because you do have a choice when making these decisions to stay on the right path and avoid a collision. When you're emotionally unstable and lose sight of your vision, that feeling in your gut is me, I'm called your intuition. You see, without me, there is no you. Without this one, there can never be two. And when the physical being no longer walks the earth, it is I, your conscience, who rises from the dirt. I am your conscience. Thank you. I rehearsed and I was perfectly timed as well. I just got to check on YouTube today. Yeah, man, I don't know, I'm just trying to feel out the crowd and just kind of just go with the flow. I'm going to take you on a journey. Thank you, my love. No problem. Do we have anyone? Alright, let's go. I'm just gonna go left here. Who likes sex? Nah, don't. Who likes sex? Wow, no one don't like sex then. Wow, no one likes sex. Thank you. Okay, cool. Alright, cool.
That's the corner there.
Alright, cool.
That's demon time over there.
That's okay, cool. So I'm the only one who likes sex. Alright, cool. Whatever. Alright. It's not taboo. We're all adults in there, man. Thank you. Alright, now I'm gonna do a piece. I've never actually performed this piece live. Yeah, this piece is called Sex Addict. Yeah, I've wanted to try a little. I've never done erotic poetry before.
Oh yeah.
Nah, I haven't. So yeah, I'm gonna try something. It's a track called 1 in a Million.
Okay, it's that Leah.
Yeah.
That Aaliyah song.
Is it that?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it justice. Alright. Turn me down a little bit. called Sex Addict. Alright, Kevin, let's go. Alright, here we go. You see, I think I'm a sex addict. I wanna fuck so much even after I've just had it. After the first round, I'm gonna tell her to go lie down because she can't stand it. This ain't me being arrogant now. I'm just being candid. You see, I can never go faster, go.
Just turn into red light district. Red light district.
Sorry, alright. Let's go again. Let's go again. From the top. Let's go again. From the top. Here we go. Let's go again from the top. Stop it. Alright. I love sex.
I think that was a statement. That wasn't even a poem.
You see, I think I'm a sex addict.
Yeah.
Now I wanna fuck so much even after I've just had it. After the first round, I'm gonna tell her to go lie down because she can't stand it. This ain't me being arrogant now. I'm just being candid. You see, it's either go hard or go home. And why can I go fast or go slow? When I dig deep, she grabs the bed sheets because I touch her mind, body, and soul. She pulls me close and whispers in my ear, Terrell, give me more. Okay, open up, let me slide in. I don't scuba dive, but I'ma dive in. You a dick jockey because you riding. There's no need for you to clock watch because I'ma put the time in. Yeah, I'm down with the full bit. Kissing, touching, licking, sucking, that's a minimum of 4 ways. I'ma need you from Thursday through to Sunday, the bare minimum of 4 days. And if I text you and the check's through, your only reply should be, of course, babes. Of course, babes. How about we make a sex tape for our next date? Fred Flintstone bedrock, make your legs shake. But like kissing on your neck bone, keep your head straight. No, it's not my birthday, but yeah, I still eat that cake. She tells me it's mine. Facing her future, but looks back at her past because of how I hit it from behind. She knows I'm about to go deep. As I firmly place my hands around her butt cheeks, mother of all tongues, but for now she can't speak. I put her in 7 different positions, guaranteed to make her weak. She loves my deep stroke. She ties her hair up to let me know she's going down to give me that deep throat. Our first sexual encounter, let's just see how we cope. She definitely likes my fire and I definitely want all her smoke. You see, my sex game is pure passion. I'm not a director, but I'm a director because it's lights, camera, action. I play my role, she likes the role play, we both love acting. She lets me know she loves the show, round of applause with some booty clapping. Best believe I make shit happen. You see, the harder she throws it back, I take a firmer grip. I reach one hand around and start to rub her clit. The other hand moves up and slowly towards her tits. Right now we're both addicts that are currently getting their fix. We're now at that point of climax where you and I are about to bust. I'm going in like a surgeon, I'm talking rearranging their guts. My addiction is normal, some people find it nuts. Making love is cool, but sometimes I just like to fuck. Sex addict. Thank you. Yo, it's funny, bro. You're absolutely funny, man. Yeah, let's I'm gonna keep it in the same kind of lane. Alright, let's go next. Okay. So obviously we've survived the pandemic, yeah? This is something that obviously affected a lot of people. And what I learned from this pandemic was to shoot my shot and take my chances. So if there's anyone in here who's in pursuit of a male or a female, you know, and go and speak to that person, because you just, the worst they can say is no. And if they say no, just come back tomorrow. It might not be right there. Persistence is key. So I performed this piece before, but actually I love doing this piece. So the story is this. There's a guy who's in a coffee shop.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, I love this piece. Yeah, the guy's in a coffee shop, and every day he goes to this coffee shop and he has breakfast. And this woman comes into the cafe every morning, but he never speaks to this woman. But on this particular day, yeah, big man. He's gonna talk to her today. So this piece is called Excuse Me, Miss. Can you go, I think it's track 2.
Chris Brown.
No, stop throwing me off. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Alright, here we go. So this is called Excuse Me Miss. Alright. L-O-V-E. 4 letters I want to give to you in order for you to get to know me. You see, this love thing is deep. It's so powerful that even the blind can see, and those who struggle to find the words are given the words to speak. Now my favorite sound is our heartbeat. From the very moment I heard it was the moment I decided I can't leave. You see, I wanted a forever ship. The most strongest boat in the world, because that means it will never sink. Our timeline is timeless, that means our clock will forever tick. Talk. My heart beats for her, that means it will never stop. Can you hear it? The closer she gets, the faster it beats, because my heart knows that she's near it. Excuse me, miss. Now my name's Terrell, and I usually wouldn't do this, but the truth is I think you're amazing. I want to love you in so many different ways and stare into your eyes like the stars up above I were gazing. But first, let's start with your name. Let me guess. It's Angel. Because to me, you were heaven sent. And that's why we have rainy days, because God's still upset about the day that you left. But it's okay. Because He guided you to me. You see, I definitely got all that honey, and you're definitely my queen bee. These emotions run deep, and I'm drowning in your deep. See, I can usually stand up strong, but for you, I get weak in the knees. Oh, you like that? It's funny when you looked over, I never thought you would smile back. And that's what made me approach you. Despite the butterflies in my stomach, I still wanted to get to know you. You see, in my head, we're already an item. I guess I found my true love where some people never find it. But I found you. Forgive me for walking in circles, I just want to be around you. You like kids? Yeah, me too. How about we name the boy after me and the girl after you? Better yet, we can have a whole tribe. Our New Year's, Christmas, birthdays, that would be a whole vibe. TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, we can do a whole live. Rather than post you on my story with you, I want to spend my whole life. You see, right now I'm happy, but I can be happier. The driver's seat is taken and I don't need someone in my passenger. You're definitely your boss and I can be your manager. You tell me that you love me and say, Terrell, I can see the man in you. This is so picture perfect. Today I picked a winner without even making a purchase. My most prized possession, I can show you what your worth is. I can go even deeper because I'm barely touching the surface. Okay. Let me say something. Because I'm doing all of this talking, but in reality, I'm saying nothing. Shit. She's gone. I guess I took too long. She was arms length from front of me, but I guess I never held on. Where she went, nobody knows. Hopefully next time, I won't keep my fucking eyes closed. I'll feel for time. You good? Yeah, alright, cool. Alright, let's go with, obviously it was Black History Month yesterday, but it's Black History Month every day.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So we're gonna go with this one. Kenny, we're just gonna freestyle. I'm just gonna get some shit off my chest. Yeah, so just yeah, something. Alright. Alright, let's talk about some shit. Alright. You ready? Oh, you just got plucked. Oh, see, okay. I might. Okay, cool. Alright, here we go. Alright. You see, I thought it was actions that speak louder than words. But nobody's taking action, so let me speak up loud in order for those actions to be heard. You see, racism isn't born, that's a behavior that is learned. We've been on the receiving end for far too long, so now it feels like it's our turn. You see, this is payback for a price that we never wanted to pay. Although it happened way back, it's still happening today. Now, some of you was afraid that we would find our voice and the words to say, but all eyes are on you, so now you can't look away. You see, it was never us but you who threw that first stone. And this so-called place that you call home is lit with the bones of both kings and queens that you overthrown. And I just started to see that what you done wasn't right, and we're the ones who wanted to be left alone. You see, that fear you have of us, that's deep rooted to your guilt. Because we really had enough of our people being killed. It's everyone versus us, and that's just how black people feel. It's been over 400 years, so time doesn't always heal. Because we took you into our homes, and then you burned all of our villages. You enslaved my brothers and sisters to make sure there were no witnesses. You erased all of our history to replace them with your images, and that's my definition if you wonder what white privilege is. You see, slavery is as real today as it was back then, because it still claims the lives of innocent black men. White people don't hide, speak up for your black friend. This ain't about black and white, nah, this is us against them. You see, I got a question for the racists. Why do you get so angry at a black person with a raised fist? You see, that statement was rhetorical, so before you speak, let me just say this. We're not out for revenge, but we do want the world to change this. You see, you get to go free whilst I get stopped and searched. You get handled with care, I'm lying face down on a curb. You physically abuse and mentally destroy us with your words, to the point where we've lost our identity and forgotten our self-worth. Now, I'm one of the dopest humans on earth, but you already knew that. My skin is a gift I was given from birth, and that's a true fact. It's so rich because it came from the dirt, that's why it stays black. So no, you can't tell me my worth because I've changed it. You see, I'm a dark king. And this dark skin is covered with the art of ancestral markings to remind me of those that lived before me in passing. So let's celebrate the past so that their future is everlasting. And every word I say has a piece of me because I put my heart in. You see, how to be black, that's just something that's just written in our essence. Loads of people have the recipe, but we still own the method. It's funny how we get taught when they're the ones who need the lessons. How can you ask me for an answer with no knowledge of the question? You see, I know my identity, so I can now appear visible for them to see. Because I've always been an ally, never once been an enemy, so stop trying to kill and wanting to put an end to me. You see, I'm a conscious black man. And that's why I never take a knee in order to make a stand. I don't need to raise my fist in order to give a hand, but I definitely take them tears off my can'ts and turn them into I can. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm into my lips.
Shout out to Kevin as well, man. Yeah. Thank you, BYOB.
I think we're good. Yeah, COVID should go around. I'm scared of that shit, so I'm not touching anything.
I was so sorry. Hey, Terrell, you brought the ticket up.
If it moves, will you come down?
Yeah, I've got you.
There we go. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Evening, everyone. I'm not going to lie, it's past my bedtime. I'm really tired. But I'm going to do this because I've kind of hyped myself. It's the first time I've actually sat down and written something, even though it was just half an hour before the show started. And it might be a little bit long, but that's not my fault. So I'm just going to take my time, but hopefully get through it a little bit fast. It's got no name. And it's a bit of a rant poem, but it felt really important, which is why I really wanted to share it. It goes a little bit like this. It seems in our communities there's an increased amount of hypocrisy, people showing a lack of dignity. Even Hyde would be disgusted by these atrocities. The alert of stranger danger taught by the age of 1 or 2, with a whole heap of other warnings continuing and growing day by day by day. We're warned about extremism and racism, sexism, capitalism, fascism, and all sorts of other isms. We're taught about how the world works, like a big fuck you to the independent ladies. Child, your destiny is being shoved to the left. Some men just don't understand how to cater to you. They've missed that vital lesson on how to upgrade you. Instead, they got obsessed, practiced how to bugaboo you. Or there's that a curse upon all the houses where street crimes have led to death. If only these rivals could use words as intelligent daggers, make their battles entertaining in good old-fashioned, wild and out style. But these aren't the atrocities that I talk of, because a big fat trick has been missed to teach the invisible dangers. Like the doctor who neglects the health, ignores your symptoms because you are younger. The person who you trusted, but they did everything you thought impossible to totally destroy it. But the one that I've been horrified by recently, the perpetrator is a teacher, who instead of teaching her students decided to give up on them before they were even given the chance to get started. They won't remember anything, so we'll do some core work with them. All we can do is hope it all works out in the end. I couldn't believe this woman, the injustice to the children, so many problems with the system. So I did what I could. I did my part to play my role in protecting these students from the destroyer they cannot see. I wrote a strongly worded email and said very clearly, teaching half the content is wrong and ethically does not sit well with me at all. I disagree with your approach to all this, and I will not compliantly do as I am told. And yeah, that's been a rant that's been in me for a few weeks. Thank you. I just wanted to say that, like I said, that's been something I've been carrying quite heavily with me for a little while, and I really wish it was a lie, and it's not. But like I said, I sent an email, and hopefully it will work out for the best. But it's the little things that we do, I think, that can make a change. And I just felt like I really wanted to share that with you all today. So thank you very much.
You guys alright? Yeah. Cool. It's my first time doing one of these, yeah, so it's allow me, yeah? We'll see if you're clapping in the end. So during lockdown, I wrote some stuff. And my girlfriend was like, you should share it. So here we go. We'll see how the shit goes together. Right? This is for anyone who spent their lockdowns with their partner, or husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, even just a close loved one. Hopefully you can relate to this. This poem, it's called I Love You, but can you just fuck off now, please? I love you, but can you just fuck off now, please? Alright, let's do this. Here we go. It's not that I don't love you. It's not that I don't care. It's just that everywhere I go and everywhere I turn, you're always fucking there.
You gotta pull it up. You gotta pull it up.
It's not that I don't love you. It's not that I don't care. It's just that everywhere I go and everywhere I turn, you're always fucking there.
Say it again. No.
I said it's not that I don't love you. It's not that I don't care. It's that everywhere I go and everywhere I turn, you're always fucking there. When I go to get some food, when I choose to have a sit, there you are, right on top of me, like a fly in a piece of shit. Look, you're amazing. You still make me weak at the knees. I love you. No. But can you just fuck off now, please? It's not that I'm not there for you, baby, now and forever. But I will stab you in the face with this fucking fork.
See you again! That's the level.
Okay. It's not that I'm not there for you, baby, now and forever. No. But I will stab you in the face with this fucking fork if we have to spend any more time together. Morning, noon, and night. Every hour that God has sent. Yet you still ask me, how was your day, babes? You know how the fuck it went. Look, I'm crazy about you. More than you can believe. I love you. But can you just fuck off now? Yes, we get on. The sex is amazing and we have a laugh. But when I see you at home during the day, I think, why can't you be frontline staff? A doctor or a nurse, or in a supermarket packing a shelf. Something that gets you the fuck out the house, so I can have it all to myself. Yes, we're in a relationship, but no, we're not fucking Siamese. I love you, but can you just fuck off now, please? Last verse. Before the lockdown, I used to look at you and think, I'm so lucky, I don't deserve her. But now I look at you and I think, I'm gonna do time for murder. Go for a walk, take some exercise, take a stroll around the block. Take your time though, don't rush back. Enough time for me to change the locks. Since we've been at home together, it's like pissing me off has become your expertise. I love you, but can you just fuck off now, please? That's the point.
And now? A little bit more. Yeah.
I was like shawty, said she won't party, said she won't fuck with a nigga with a cardi. I was like bomba, she was like what? Said she got pum pum tighter than socks. I was like raw, she was like yeah, ain't no females can compare. I was like damn, shawty you different, come over here, come switch up positions. I was like girl you went like a faucet. She was like nigga you don't have to force it. You ain't gonna fuck my pussy tonight, but as long as you know you don't own it. She was like I don't need no man. I was like, girl, I understand. Me, I got too many paper plans. Just equal me when the paper lands. You must be joking. She was like, nah, who the fuck's joking? Put this in your face, start choking. You know I get wet, start flooding like ocean. I was like, damn, shut you back. You even got me thinking about Birkin back. Bad in the real life, swear school man. 5-star girl with a 5-star man. Imagine all the things we could do. Mine's so fake, but the body's so true. One more, let's head back to the room. She was like, nah, man, this is my tune. On the dance floor, give it because she want more. Ride like a transport, strapped from the start bar, she could even stand more. She feels like, I think it's about that time you start thinking about that capo. Why? Don't make me talk to you twice, just take out your damn phone. Charles like, feeling kinda moody, big like a Juicy. I think you went to holler at my backbone. Why did you say that? Shawty just lay back, you know I got the beats on my trap phone. Back to the crib, couple more drinks, then we over the tip. 2 more shoots, wavy and shit. So watch you taking off all of my drip. Kodak girl, pose for the pit. Drop them clothes and you see a girl strip. Back to the basics, don't give me your face dip. Pillar in the face, you can't say shit. But let you pause for a moment. I need to say something and I can't postpone it. I know you got a girl and I know your name's Jordan. I hope you don't make things awkward. I'm here for a reason. Girl sent me just to catch you cheating. I can't even blame you on the drinking. I can't even lie, I wasn't thinking. She was then mad. I was then what? Say it's back to me, I'm going to tell me or not. She was like mad. I was like cool. Sit there here, tell me what you wanna do. She was like she wanna do what she came here to do. When she meets my girl next week, she's gonna tell my girl my gem and do. As soon as she said that, couple of steps outside of the room. Wait. No one got the keys to the condo. As soon as I thought it was safe, tell me how my girl just bust through the front door.
So romantic. Obviously, you know we're together no more, but it's
Perhaps tonight I haven't spoken enough, or perhaps I wrote too much, hoping to capture something, anything. Any little part of you, or even us, that might still remain, like the smoke from my cigarette, one for me, one for you. As I blow out the smoke, I see it create figures and forms, figures of your face, figures of your ghost. The one that's been lingering and haunting me for the past 5 years. With every puff, I let the smoke fill up my lungs because that's the only way I know how I can keep you as a part of me still. The smoke hangs low and heavy around me because that's the only way I know, the only way that I can cope without you here. Perhaps I was hoping that being around your mom tonight might bring me some sense of peace, as if she's a part of you that still breathes, a part of you that still exists, and not just in my head, or better yet, my chest. Perhaps I still don't know how to deal with the grief, and perhaps I still don't know what to do or how to face it, or how to react to all of this, to all this sadness and pain that go hand in hand of accepting you're never coming back. And I miss you. I miss you every day still. I miss you in ways no words can say. more than anything I can write on this page, even if I have written too much. And perhaps I still love you, still a little too much, perhaps.
David killed Goliath. In his mind, he's a giant. The radio pirates hijacked airways, played what the corporates didn't. You see the sounds of the people, it couldn't be silenced. Icarus flew too close to the sun and fell, but I, jodY Alliance, Skywalker, the pen of lightsaber, my head in the clouds with the force and the stars my papyrus. I seek family in galaxies for ancestral guidance. Discerned deep in my soul, their code, wired through bone, muscle, tissues, and fibers. It says, be proud. My skin is black gold. No need for the Midas. My pen is priceless. Poetry and lyricism is like a science. E equals MC, therefore emotion is revolution. So in a world full of hate, to speak love is defiance. So I speak love and paintings. The colors in my palette splurge, pen caresses canvas words. Words form the novel in my painting. Soul pushing past threshold of what our skins disclose. Naked chapters in a room full of ego unclothed. My pages shun the dress code in exhibition of success and my failings. Sometimes things fall apart, displaying our fragility, but who knew that the light would shine through all of this breaking? You see, the truth is that you and I are not broken. It's just a feel of the heart, recalibrating. Sorry, this mic thing is sticks.
Got it from Lidl still.
No.
So when they ask if I'll ever put pen away, I tell them so long as there's pain in this world, the pen will stay. Above the bullshit, the pen, it helps me levitate. Therapeutic, helps the hurt alleviate, I meditate. In Cascade's journey, the mind to stay in better states. Words killing you softly when necessary, sharp like a blade. Like your barber's clippers, this levels like I'm styling a fade. Grateful for life, better live it, these are the days. And if the ink dries, no longer running the blood in my veins, but my soul smiles immortalized. And you can find me if you read between lines or spillages outside of the page. Never alone in joys or turmoils, I can relate. And if we share with each other, we can let the love overpower the hate. Uplift each other and elevate, escape to a better place for better days. My God is great.
So we had to be a bit forceful because last time I couldn't get to perform as well. Hi everyone. Hi. So this poem, I literally just wrote this poem because I realised that there was a lot of things that I needed to get off my chest. So I'm going to share it with you guys today and hope you like it. Raise your hands if you've ever been in a room that is full of people but you've still felt all alone. Despite always showing up for everyone and always putting their needs in front of your own. Raise your hands if you've ever ignored your inner voice to the point where you can no longer recognize self, so you accept the lies being told by everybody else. By the time you realize you can no longer hear your own cries, those unheard internal screams are now breaking down your self-esteem. Now your mind seems so disjointed and brittle because you've always been simultaneously too much and too little. Raise your hands if you've been injecting poisonous thoughts into your system that begin infecting your bloodstream and inflicting so much pain that your veins begin to buckle underneath the strain. A pain that becomes your norm for so long that your brain doesn't even recognize your organs are infesting, as in metaphorically speaking, but isn't it interesting just how real it feels? Raise your hands if you've been ingesting corrosive words into your system that become lethal when spoken, but you gobble them up without throwing up and you swallow without choking, because in your own eyes,
you're already so broken. So no matter how toxic, they never seem as heartbreaking as the shit that you've been internalizing and projecting. If you've kept your hands up, I assume you've been all of the above. Sorry. If you kept your hands up, I'll assume you've been all of the above, like me. But love found me in the form of poetry, and finally I could heal because it made me feel good about me. It was the only thing in this world that ever came natural to me, and still, I don't know if I found poetry or poetry found me, but what I do know is it gave me a choice to use my inner voice, and now, instead of poison, my thoughts are medicine. They are the elixir of healing coursing through my system, and despite the constant fight, I can make it through any night because now my words are the light that speak life into me. So if you were unlucky enough to relate to me, I pray that you are able to find something that's as great to you as poetry has been for me.
Hey everyone, thank you for coming here today. So I'm going to read you 2 poems, and my poems are quite short, so yeah, they're going to be quick ones. But in the spirit of Black History Month, as Terrell said, it's not Black History Month only for a month, it's Black History Month every day. Heavy is the head. Heavy is the head with a bounty upon it, set by melanin, solidified by postcode. Heavy is the head that drowns, dragged down in the broad water. Heavy is the head that was farmed for labor and sacrifice for a quota. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, for Babylon is a dangerous land for kings. So that poem was inspired by a exhibition that was put on by the Institute of Contemporary Arts. And then the next one is, pass over us please. You cannot fool me with your green card diversity and your Passover anti-racist politics. If you cared about the blood of my people, you would not be smearing it above your doorpost to protect your own neck. You wouldn't be using it to dye the threads of your merchandise that you are making profit on. You would not allow it to flow. You would allow it to flow as the heart's blood pumping through your establishment, but you only allow that blood to run blue. Sharp words. In this world where I am defenseless, the only weapon I have is my words. Luckily, they're sharp. My words are my claws, and it is only by a clause that I can be saved.
I have a book out, it's called Cherry Cola.
Yay!
I have 2 copies with me, and I have a card reader, but it's on Amazon, Waterstone, WH Smith, etc. I'm just going to do a really short poem because of time, sorry. Okay. The book is just about a relationship between a girl and boy, and it's told from the 2 different perspectives, so the girl and boy. So quick. Okay, this is the girl. Cocktail. I move my bourbon lips towards this boy. I suck on his hardened crystal and start to work on it. I submerge it in this bourbon, I spit on it, gargle, I choke on it, until it dissolves in a sucrose syrup. I add 3 dashes of Angursa bitters to balance the sweetness, garnish with mandarin peels to excite his palate, add ice to impede the melting process. It calms my spicy caramel notes. His sweetness becomes pronounced, my temperature drops rapidly, but I continue to stir. Thank you.
Yeah. BYOB done. Walking out, got lace weeks, man like Mosh. If you wanna hire Mosh for any Asos catalogue things.
Look at the drip, man.
Come on.
Talk about Asos catalogues.
That's how we do it.
Come on, man.
Hey, okay.
What are those?
No, but let's talk about the slider cuts. Yeah, come on.
Oh, I work here. I work here.
Forget slider cuts.
I work here.
No, slider cuts is.
Shout out to Slider Cuts.
You really look Chris and that.
Ironically, she works for a hair and slider cuts. He's a.
Look, you're trying to beg spotlight.
Oh, jeez. I don't need the spotlight. I don't need the spotlight. She'll tell you why. Because one day I'm gonna be. You are what you wear, so therefore I am a superstar.
The crep check though. Look at the crep check though. jodY's got that headline money.
One day I'm gonna be performing there.
Yeah, no, Wembley Stadium. No, manifest that.
I'll be like I said.
jodY, I want front row seats to your shows. jodY's gonna have a show, you know.
You know what?
jodY's gonna have a show.
Getting discounts. I want that money.
Facts. Yo, no discount. No friend discounts. No friend discounts. No poet discounts.
Fuck Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran never deserved that.
No.
How did you come at the end of the show and you acted like you
Why is this guy coming in now? I'm a busy man. This guy came in late. He can't even perform right now.
Your set was sick, bro. He doesn't even perform.
I didn't say that. Listen, you trying to be. You want this? Get out of here. Nah, man, get out of here. I've still not made it to one fucking vlog of yours, yeah? Let this be the vlog. Let this be the ending scene.
Okay, cool, but you need to perform to get in the vlog though.
Big man, I'm performing every single time.
Listen, you're not ready.
I do not skip no one in the
building.
If you're not in the vlog, you haven't performed yet.
Bro, this guy is so wavy. This guy is so wavy. He doesn't even go to poetry events. He just goes to the end and drops shit.
You came in late.